Well, oh, I fucked that up. Well, how's it going, Bob?
Yeah, you sure fucked that one up. What's up, dude? I'm in the backyard.
I did. I screwed that one up. I won't tell you how I screw it up, but I screw it up. You know, it's a crazy Monday, right? I mean, we had probably one of the most craziest weekends you could imagine. I mean, really, we had a crazy weekend.
Yeah.
Where let's see what happened over the weekend. Okay, so we have the famous rocket ship launched. Apparently,
yes.
If you believe it happened or not, apparently it was launched. But apparently, I guess nobody really cares because it was only on Discovery Channel. It was on the local news while that launch is going. And in fact, Bob, I don't know if this is true or not. I do not know if it's true.
I'll confirm whatever it is.
When the president of the United States of America was over there watching this launch, right? He did a speech, right? Well, you never saw him with Elon Musk. Apparently, don't know if this is true or not, that the reason Elon Musk wasn't there for the launch and be there with President Trump because he was selling his house.
Okay. Now, he had a soft opening.
I don't know if that story is true, but if that story is true, that is one of the biggest bullshit things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, well, if he's selling a house, if he's launching a rocket that's not really happening, but in real time he has to sell his house. Now that's for real though. He probably had a soft opening. He probably had like an open table of like hors d'oeuvres. Probably like, I don't know, maybe some escargot, some escargots with some fucking salmon eggs. That's important though, man. You gotta sell his house. But well, I mean, you can fake X,
Now, if you and you sold the house, I sold the house before.
Yeah.
If you're selling a house, you have an agent that does everything, does the walkthrough. What does Elon Musk does his own walkthrough with people buying his house, but he don't have an agent?
You would think, right? I mean, I would when I was selling my house. I mean, I was gonna put some wieners out, a couple of fucking wieners from the fridge, a couple of patties, whatever, some chips, wieners and some chips, and maybe some pork and beans. Heat them up. Fucking house guys, come on in, buy the house, eat the fucking pork and beans. That's it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I mean, okay, so what? There's a fucking rocket going up into space. I mean, he's gonna be doing it all the time anyway. The house is important, Eric.
But
Elon did not make it. He had
if this is your own company and you're launching something new, don't you have to be there? I mean, I guess you don't, right? I guess you don't have to be there.
He was going to be there originally, but then he had the soft opening of the house he's selling. Probably some mansion for, I don't know, probably someone he bangs fucking minors in. Who knows? He has to get rid of it. He's got a lot of stuff on the computers.
I'm going to type it into Google right now. Why wasn't Elon Musk at his rocket launch? I want to see what Google says.
I mean, Herr Führer was there. The most important thing, Herr Führer was there to go ahead and with the upside down flag on him. So he, the Herr Führer, the president, made sure he was there for that whole thing. And some lady, I don't know if she's Asian. I mean, she looks smart. She's Asian, so always have like an Asian guy next to Trump, that can overtalk him a little bit. Flare hair has to have somebody next to him with ethnicities, whatever. Yeah. What is it? He's selling his house? Is he really selling his house?
I don't know. It's like I can't get any articles. I mean, there's no pictures of him standing with the president or anything. And the thing is, he's friends with Trump because Trump gives him money.
Yeah, he gives him
money. So it's just it's like, okay.
He's probably nervous because inevitably, what I've saw with my own fucking eye is that every time they do anything to do with outer space footage of them in space, there's always a flaw. I've noticed that every time they do it, there's always a flaw. So it's like how we always see these changes with the Mandela effect to make things look better or worse. I think anything to do with a lie, it always comes out bad. So when he showed those guys, I saw the whole footage of them in space. it's really clear they're on an airplane. It's the plane that goes up, and then it's the plane that drops down at 0 Gs. It creates a 0 G atmosphere. It goes up and it drops down. So those guys are sitting in I can make one at the Museum of Flight. I used to work at exhibits. I can make an exhibit look like an inside of a fucking shell of a ship, and have them sit in that shell within the cargo bay of that plane. It goes up and then drops. So when it drops at 0 G, those guys are kind of doing their maneuvers. As the plane kind of rides itself back up, they stop moving until it does its drop again. So it's going up and then dropping. It drops for a while, then it goes up and drops. Those guys are planning it perfectly between each up and drop. I watched them. They're like trying to fake their gravity. I go, oh, they're in that 0 G plane. They're just dropping. Then they get to the fucking the ISS station, and they got a bunch of these guys on cables that are being wiped out. The cables are being wiped out. It's like fake. So I watched that little dragon. I think it was a dragon. So he had on the footage. They had a dragon, and so one of the astronauts, Doug and whatever the McKenzie guys that drink beer, Doug and Bob McKenzie. So one of them has like the fucking dragon. He says the sun gave him. That thing's floating around. It completely does not look like anything inside there. The texture doesn't even match. If it's not even there. And then when he goes back up to the seat, you can see it bump the side of his face, like it's going into his head. I go, this thing's CGI. This is a CGI dragon plane. No, this is all fake.
Well, like I said, over the weekend, then of course you have the riots, which affected me today big time. Yeah. With, taking my wife to work and have her.
You got to go to work in the
building. And then, but so you had the riots, right? We had the rocket ship, and then of course we still have the pandemic, and then we actually now this is the cool thing. We actually physically met.
Yes.
That man sitting below us.
That guy.
Us. So don't urinate on him, Bob.
Yeah.
We actually met Silly Fan Man in person at I don't know what you call it, a flat earth, kind of a little meetup, I guess you'll call it. It's kind of a cool little meetup, which was fun. It was awesome. It was probably the best time of the day. And this is the thing, Bob. This is the thing, Rick, about this little meetup. With all this riot shit going on, with all this thugs, all these fucking assholes breaking buildings, all these stupid assholes that shouldn't even be living on this fucking planet. People make fun of Mandela effect. They make fun of the flat earth community. Well, Saturday was an awesome meetup. Doesn't matter if you believe in Mandela or if you believe in flat earth or not. But Rick, wouldn't you agree that meetup was fun? Everybody was nice and kind. Nobody was breaking down buildings. Nobody was breaking doors. I mean, we're making fun of the bathroom setup because instead of opening up the bathrooms, the only thing they had set up was a little potty that if you're afraid that somebody's going to get the virus in a big fucking bathroom, and so you're going to have little potties for people to use.
First of all, you're absolutely right. That was such a fun meetup. And it was set up as a flat earth, but that's not how we saw it when we got there. We just wanted to meet people that actually see through all the BS and see life the way it really is. And it was an amazing moment. There was so much energy. You could feel it. I don't know how you and Robert felt, but the next day, yesterday, we were just kind of drained. And I think it's because there was just such an explosion of energy at that park for those 4 hours,
Explosion.
I don't even think there was really a lot of flat earth talk at all. It was just meet and greet. And of course, that day was my daughter's birthday too. So on top of everything, it was my daughter's birthday. So I wanted to stay longer at the meetup, but of course I can't not go to my daughter's 13th birthday because she's a teenager now. And now I know I need to buy a shotgun, but I mean, it's just a crazy fucking weekend.
And then you guys are supposed to be having the steaks that I'm going to be cooking.
Yeah.
Actually, I threw them back in the freezer, and we'll wait. We got to figure this out.
Wolfie, don't worry. His wife is kind of trapped at the moment, dude. That building that they are fucking is his wife works in the building.
You couldn't take her this morning, could you? I didn't think you'd be able to because the highways are shut.
I don't go up the freeway.
Okay.
I go up 16, the 99. Then I go up First Avenue into the city. Then I go where the baseball stadium is. Go down the 4th. Nobody knows this yet. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
But we were even in our area. They put up signs, and everything is so funny how coordinated it is. And when I try to bring it up to people and say, "Don't you think this is weird?" Of course, in back in the day, you'd say, "Don't you think this is queer?" But but it's like, "Don't you think this is weird?" Like they posted signs just about a day or so ago saying that the on ramps and off ramps on the main highway that goes by here are going to be closed for 2 weeks from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. for maintenance. And they've done that before, but they usually will do one and then they'll do another. They're closing them all. To me, it's coincidental timing that it's right around the curfew of Seattle now. And I really feel that this is just more of the wheels of plan in motion and no one sees it. Even when I point it out, they're like, it's nothing. Okay.
Yeah, it's too convenient. I see a lot of convenient. Everything's like a damn. You open the book and you read the next chapter. Okay, next is the freeway. Oh, next are the riots. Next comes the. Come on, man.
I wanted to do a video of myself pretending like I was, talking from different times. And like, first it would be like, man, aren't you guys just sick of hearing about flat earth and no one's listening? And then I'll do another one that says, man, don't you miss the days when we were just talking about flat earth? Aren't you sick about talking about Kernani? And then I'll do another one and go, man, don't you miss the days when we talked about Kernani and now it's all about riots? And I'm like, what's going to be next month? Because then we won't give a shit about the riots anymore because there's going to be something different or bigger and worse,
It's what's next to the next chapter. Reading like a book. That's why we were talking about it over there at the get together. Everyone's like joking, and I was like, "Don't get involved, man. Whatever you guys do, I can see it right now. This thing is playing itself out. Don't get overly involved. Just use your voice online. Stay away from this fucking. This game is playing itself out.
If you connect it biblically." God always talks about the cities, he destructions of the cities and everything coming to get the frick out of the city. If anyone's in the city, figure a way. And I know it's hard. Like if you have a life and you've got a job, well, you probably don't have a job right now, but if you're kind of stuck there, at least get whatever they call bug out plan. Figure a way to get out. And if you can't get somewhere, know someone that is somewhere that has some extra land. There's some people at the Meetup that are actually doing that. They're moving to places of other people in this community.
I know.
And figure that out. If you guys are in the city, you need to get out because it's just going to get. This is as good as it gets.
Let me tell you guys a highlight that I love what Rick said when we were at the Meetup is when I don't know if that guy in the truck was I don't know what position he was, but he was a worker of the park, right? We're all inside. We're all inside with the yellow tape that we're not supposed to be in. So Bob decided to walk over there, talk to him, and Rick goes, "Oh, don't worry, we're fine." Bob's talking to him, which Bob did.
What was fascinating was this, okay? So Robert went up to talk to this guy. Guy pulls up and he's pissed off that we were. How dare you? We were in this little gazebo area with tables, and it was all
as the rain is pouring down.
It was pouring rain. And tell me something, Robert. This is why I wanted to talk to you, and maybe privately, but whatever. Everyone here knows I'm crazy. So check this out. So as Eric was saying, we're at this little get together. We didn't even break the caution tape. I mean, we were being respectful to laws. We walked under it. So the guy shows up in his little truck, and he's pissed off. And so Robert's over there, he starts talking to him. So I went up to see, what's happening. Can we figure this out? And the guy has his phone in his hand, ready to call the police. And Robert's like, "Hey man, we're just doing this and whatever. And what is that you want?" I go, and then I start talking. I'm like, "Hey, if it's important to you, we can separate. We can stand where you want. Just tell us what exactly would you like us to do?"
What would you like?
Then Robert and I both saw it. He took a download. And it was right out of that movie, Star Wars. Someone said that. That's like, these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, these are the droids you're looking for.
Because he's ready to call, and we both were talking to him, and I said, what do you want us to do? And he's like, well, I guess the rules don't apply to everyone. And he put his phone down, and he just drove off. And we just looked at each other like, that just happened. That was super cool.
Did you see his face?
That's it.
That was his face. It was his face. He was sincere. He was going to fucking call.
Yes.
The dude was pissed. I mean, we were pissing him off, man. Pouring down rain. How dare we get together in a group like this? How dare anybody do this?
No mask.
He's got the phone and he's ready to dial. And we're like, hey, we can separate any way you want us. We can just stand in a group and separate by 6 feet. 2 people to people. You tell us what you want us to do. And we'll do it 100%, sir. And he looked at all of a sudden, he did like a
he did.
Do whatever you want to do. And then drives off. I'm like,
the rules don't apply to everyone, I guess. And then he just drove off like kind of just dazed. It was weird.
Rules don't apply to everyone, then. And just drives. It's like this weird mode of, it was a download, man. It was like
so here's the crazy part, if that wasn't wild. If you remember, Robert or Eric, if you saw this, because my wife and I talked about it because it was very odd. There was a woman in red, of course, with an umbrella. She was Asian. She was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And she walked back and forth in front of us multiple times in a very awkward way, almost like she was kind of exercising, but not. Never said anything. And then when we discussed it later, remember that movie in the scene in the Matrix where the cat goes by?
Yeah.
I think there was something weird about that lady because we both, I don't know if you guys, did you see her? She went by about 10 times.
Yeah. She was doing that weird athletic walk, but she was like a machine. There was no. She
did it with an umbrella and a mask. Yeah. Now, if it's pouring rain like it was, and you're afraid of the Kernani, what the hell are you doing out that day?
Yeah,
there's no reason you would have been walking.
I was making fun of her, like, why is she wearing a mask? She's by herself.
And that parking lot, the upper parking lot and the lower parking lot, were filled.
Yes.
Filled. Yes. There was no one else around us but us, and it was pouring rain. Why was everyone? Where were the cars? Where were all the people? What were they doing? I think something was messing with us. It doesn't make sense. Where were all the people? There must have been 30 cars there?
Yeah, nobody.
Bob was like, this is a hell of a walk back up.
Yeah.
Like, damn, then I parked closer in that parking lot.
Yeah, but don't forget the heron. That's always been something that's always around me.
Yeah.
I took pictures of it. I'm going to post it. I took pictures. It looked like he was walking on the water. Remember? He was standing in there, and it was just there. Yeah. He stayed there the whole day. He never left.
Yeah.
I just think there's weird shit that this world does, and we attract certain, whether they're real or computer or whatever the heck this is.
It felt like a damn program.
Yeah.
So when we were all together talking, it's like the rain was coming down real heavy. All of a sudden, it like comes down like a fucking and when we're all together, so everyone's having their individual private talk, and everyone's like doing their Emmys, doing their Emmy. I remember this. I remember that. This is kind of then everyone got in their detailed conversation. What do you think's coming next? What is this about? What is that about? And didn't you notice the background of these weird people didn't even matter anymore? They were just machines. You can almost sense it at that point. You're within it. You're in the game now, playing Sims, and everyone's talking now and having a good time, and everything becomes a background. I was like,
it's almost like they didn't realize it was raining because they're just computer generated NPCs, and that's where they're supposed to be. Walking the park and walking their dog. There was a guy walking his dog. It's pouring rain. None of that made sense. I didn't think about it until the ride home. My wife and I were talking about it. The whole outside was very odd. We were involved in our own world because it was so fun meeting everyone. And 4 hours went by like 10 minutes. It was fascinating. What we were talking about on the way home, none of the things around us made sense.
No.
There shouldn't have been that many people in the pouring rain hanging out in a park, especially with Kernani going on.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so happy that remember when we first started doing shows, Mr. Comic used to be there. He's back. Love that guy. I love seeing Lisa Silver back. That's awesome. She's been gone for a while. But I did fuck up that night. I did. When I went to order the Red Robin burger, somehow minus a person out. Somehow, I don't know how I did that. I minus somebody out. But I ordered a monster burger for myself. So what I did is I cut myself 25% of it and gave Bob 75% so everybody can have their burgers. I sacrificed a whole burger so everybody can have a burger.
Slow clap. Burger, man.
I thought this would be 7 burgers. I'm like, fuck. I was like, did they not give you one? I go, nope, that was me. I fucked up. I ordered one less. That was my fault.
Never leave the table until you count your money.
Yeah.
Never leave the table till you count your money. You got to look at the burgers. Look at the burgers. Count the burgers. Everyone's fast food now. Everyone's like in a hurry with their freaking fast food drive-thrus here. It's insane, man. You showed me
I did not try to lie. It's completely my fault. But hey, guys, here's a topic for today. Bob and I were talking the last 2 days, and we were talking about. I know the show is called Mandela Effect Strikes Back.
Yes.
But Bob and I were talking about Mandela effects that were covered up, like good cover up on it, like they blamed something else where we felt that it was a Mandela effect. Okay, now you know what I mean. So the reason I call this show Mandela Effect Strikes Back because I found something out that I know it was a Mandela effect, but they cover it up with something else. Okay. So if you guys are curious what that is I'm not talking about C-3PO having a silver leg. Luke, I'm your father. There's something else that happened in Empire Strikes Back. Here, let me do a share screen about an article so people kind of know that I'm not just blowing smoke. Empire is at 40-year anniversary. Some last-minute magic changes to the original ending of Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. Okay, so when this movie came out in 1980, if you saw Empire Strikes Back in the theater, which Bob and I did see Strikes Back, but if you saw the movie 2 weeks prior, the third week, the ending is different. There were extra scenes that was somehow put in after the second week. So I know it's hard to comprehend because if you go to YouTube, you can type in the original ending and type in the newer ending where they added extra footages. Now, according to StarWars.com, according to George Lucas said he went to the theater the first week that it was out. And he said, "Oh, we got to add some footages in this." So the story goes that he called these people up to add some footages and get it. And during the second to third week, we're gonna show this new footage. Now, I want to tell you guys something. In a modern day, if you make a change to a movie theaters get it digitally now, so you can make changes.
Yeah,
you can make all the changes you want. They actually did it in that movie Cats. Apparently, the CGI sucked. They fixed the CGI and they re-gave it to theaters, which people still didn't watch that movie. Okay, now in 1980,
they did it in Game of Thrones too. They took out a Starbucks cup that everyone was talking about.
Now in 1980, you're going to tell me that they changed out every single rail that these theaters have now. Now, to make these rails, people gotta understand this. To make these rails, theaters are a lot of fucking money, a lot, and it's not like that sequels were not a guarantee hits. This is during the time when sequels were not a guarantee hit. So you're gonna tell me the cover up was he redid these rails and resent it out to every theater and every new theater that went from 70 millimeter to 35. With the added extra footage at the end. I'm telling you, these extra footages just happened. It just happened. And they knew this. They saw that extra footage. George Lucas, I did a video on George Lucas. George Lucas is Mandela affected 100%.
Yeah,
the car accident in 1962, I think June 12th. Okay, but he didn't die. He came back. He came back because he had a vision to Star Wars, and we all know Star Wars had all these Mandela effects in it. This was a major Mandela effect that they knew about, and they changed. They said, "Oh no, we fixed that. We just sent all movie theaters new rails." Dude, this is 1980. You just
man.
Poppycock, that ain't true.
Every theater in America had to receive a brand new reel.
Yes, that is my cover-up. Now, if you think I'm lying, if you don't think I'm telling the truth, type into Google, type into YouTube, the original ending, and then check out the new ending. There's extra footage, and I can't remember. C-3PO says something different at the end of that with the original. That was a Mandela affected. They knew about it, and they tried to cover it up by saying, "Oh no, George made changes before. He did it with the Empire Strikes Back in 1980." Dude, you can't change rails like that. I don't know. I know people don't understand the movie theater how the system works, but making rails costs a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Once you put a movie out in the theaters in those days, it's there for good. And you're going to spend all this money to add footages and try to get it in before the third week? Dude, it's not possible.
No, they wouldn't do that.
There would be no point.
Nowadays, but you can't do it in fucking 1980. You just can't change all the rails. You can't.
What they would have done is exactly as they have done. If they did shoot another one, they would have waited until it was released for home video or DVD and made it as an extra feature like they did in every other movie.
Yeah. It's a new one. It just popped out of nowhere. Eric was asking me about it. Do you remember when we went? Yeah, it was. Do you remember them like splicing the end of hearing about splicing a whole new ending to the movie of Empire Strikes Back? And go, no.
It's people said something differently than the first one.
I don't remember any of that shit. No, it played the whole movie. There was no call-in for. I mean, all the nerds would know, man. Oh, all the Star Wars.
Okay, I'm back on camera. Just like it drives me crazy that all the nerds don't say anything about the fact that what do you call it? Chewbacca doesn't get a medal. We all just misremembered it. I mean, that was a huge thing.
Huge thing.
And then we just misremembered it, and they're just going with that, or the whole C-3PO. Every freaking damn convention that they ever have, those people are meticulous. I know some of them, and it's like no one there put a silver leg on their C-3PO. Like they even know how to speak some of the languages, like Wookiee and Mandalorian. They know how to do that shit. Yeah. But a gigantic leg, they don't remember that it was silver. No. Like it doesn't make sense, and it's like they just take the down like that guy in the truck, and they just go, "Whatever, I forgot."
Look, they drew with the new shot they put in that ending. So, and this is after the movie was out. Hey, let's draw a new ending. Let's fix it. Come on.
And take all the reels to the movie theaters all across the United States of America and abroad to make sure they watch the new ending. What? You know how many reels that would take? No, dude. That's a huge undertaking to make those extra reels like that. And then just this all over the damn back of the turtle. No way.
New shot. New shot. The Millennium Falcon is connected to ship because apparently George Lucas said people got confused because they didn't realize that Lando and them were in the Falcon that came from the ship where Leia and Luke was at, getting his new hand. Come on.
What is the shot that they supposedly added? I guess I don't know which one they added.
Okay, in the original, it showed Lando just talking to them over the speaker or whatever, and they flew away. Well, in the new shots, the Falcon, they actually show the Falcon connected to the big mothership.
Yeah, because that's where Luke is holding on to this like pole.
Yes, but in the original shot, that wasn't there. So the story goes that George says, I'm confusing people too much because people don't realize the Falcon was actually where Luke was. So they added scenes where the Falcon is connected to that ship and then he takes off. Well, in the original shot, that didn't happen. He wasn't connected to the ship, and it didn't show additional ships flying away. Where in the new shot, it's all there. I know it's hard to explain. And there's a scene where C-3PO was talking to R2-D2 right at the end, standing with Leia and Luke, looking out to the skies, looking out to the Falcon flying away. C-3PO says something differently than what you see now. And this is, like I said, this is within the first 2 weeks that the movie was already out. They decided that they have to make this change. No, change happened. They covered it up, saying that, no, we just sent all the theaters new rails. Dude, you just can't.
It's just a backstory cover-up. Absolutely.
Now, if you guys want to, if anybody in the chat wants to read about this cover-up, I'm going to put it right here in the chat so people can see where StarWars.com, which is owned by Disney, is making this up.
Yeah. Well, that's a huge cover-up. They're really trying to cover a lot of these fucking Mandela.
They did this. It's saying here that YouTube rejected your comment. This is fairly common when sharing a link. I can't share this link. It won't share the link. So people, just type in the original ending to Empire Strikes Back, and you'll get there.
Wow.
Anybody wants to know that picture next to Rick below Bob? That is Tom Cruise wearing the pink shirt.
Yeah. What the heck? Wait. Hey. I'm surrounded by two asses.
So Bob, that's to me is one of the biggest cover-ups I think for me that they did. What do you think, Bob? What do you, is there a cover-up that you think?
Well, I got multiple things, but the one I'll talk about is the one I watched just yesterday. I was kind of into the whole the astronaut thing, so I was just kind of watching the astronaut stuff. They had some of the original Apollo bullshit stuff going on, and they had explained clearly, and I remember hearing it as they were doing the whatever footage, and the guys called it and said, Houston, we had a problem. Now, originally, it's Houston. We all know this. We have a problem. We have a problem. But now they say we had a problem. And so the movie, everyone kept saying the movie's flip-flopping. What? The Mandela effect is that the movie keeps flip-flopping from Houston, we had a problem, to Houston, we have a problem. So it keeps flip-flopping. Now, I watched the documentary. And in the documentary, you could clearly hear him say, now, Houston, we had a problem. And then in the documentary says, well, they had made a mistake when they said that. Real clear. He had made a mistake when he said that. What he meant was, Houston, we have a problem. Because then he repeats it afterwards. Again, now we have a problem. So I watched the documentary trying to cover that up. They're incorporating in there saying, yeah, he did say that. He did, in fact, say, in real time, we had a problem, and now they corrected it. So everyone knows that NASA is fully aware of that mistake, and it was always there. Can
I add something, Bob, to that movie? Apollo 13. That maybe other people mentioned this before. I don't know, but there is something in that movie that kind of projected the pandemic that we're going through now. Yeah. Do you remember what I'm talking about in that movie that kind of predicts the virus?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, which movie is this?
Apollo 13.
I forgot.
Because you're talking about Houston having a problem, and I was thinking about this. Maybe another show, maybe another channel talked about this. Maybe not. Yeah. If they did, I never heard somebody said this, but in that movie, of course you had Tom Hanks. Yeah. In space, you had the guy who died in real life. It plays in Big Love, whatever his name is, with Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Okay. Now Kevin Bacon. Okay, Kevin Bacon's character in real life replaced another astronaut that was supposed to be up there with the three. That is that same actor who played in Forrest Gump with Tom Hanks. Yeah. I don't know the name. I'm not good with names. Okay. I'm not good with names. Okay. So think about this. Now, Kevin Bacon had to replace him because according to the story that that one astronaut was not allowed to go up because when they did a blood test, apparently he had the what? He had
the AIDS virus.
The flu. He had the flu.
He had the flu.
He was not allowed. He was not allowed to go in space.
That's why he had the flu.
Supposedly he had the flu, and then after the ship came back, guess what? That character went to them and said, "Guys, look, I never had the flu. I was never sick. I should have been up there with them."
He might have had the COVID 12 or the 19, whatever. He's got the Corona. That's right, the Corona 19.
Now, maybe other shows touch on that, but I'm like thinking to myself, God, did you remember that the other pilot supposedly had the flu, so he couldn't go to space? The measles. He's supposed to have the measles right here, yeah. But when they came back, he didn't have the measles. It's kind of weird that's going on right now, right? Everybody's supposed to be getting this virus, but not everybody's getting it, right?
Yeah.
Only famous people get it.
Only famous people, and statistically mostly white people, I think it was, wasn't it?
Well, Tom Hanks got it, right? Apollo 13.
Yes, he did get it. Well, he supposedly got it, him and his wife, at the same time. That was convenient. Now, I've actually gotten sick with people before, like in the same household, and usually one person gets it first for a little bit, then the other person gets it. But they got it conveniently at the same time. At the same time around when Boris got his in England, at the same time, I think a little bit of time later, but then Trump got a little bit of it. I don't know.
It's not quite Mandela, but since the craziness going on, so I got a question. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday because all the days are mixing up. Trump was rushed to a bunker because whatever. They were scared, whatever. So my question is this, he's already come down with it. Didn't they say he had symptoms of it? I don't even remember now.
Yeah, I think they did.
But so they can hide him away for whatever reason, whether he gets cranny or whether someone takes him out or whatever. Think of what this country would be in if he declares martial law, which is we're in it, but he has, I guess, officially declared it, which he'll do any day because they're it's not us. It's not the regular people. It's the insiders that are going around stirring up all the sheeple, putting out pallets of bricks.
Oh, God.
Literally dropping off pallets of bricks next to important buildings or businesses that they want destroyed. And then there's the video where the cop was smashing them. So we know that they're instigating it to do martial law. So if we're in martial law and then Trump disappears by either some way, then what happens? Do we ever get out of martial law? Is he truly declared the last president, as that book said? It's just interesting scenario because if the country's in upheaval now, can you imagine if you pluck out your president? People will just completely lose their shit, I think.
It's like he's the last president. They keep rumoring that out of the fucking book. He's the last president. And then you watch all these things play out like in real time. You're thinking to yourself, is this a goddamn book or not? This is like a fucking book, man.
We're in a book.
We're in a
movie where they keep rewriting the ending. So that's my point. When I get on my channel, the whole world's crashing down. But we talked about it at that meetup. All of our lives have improved. And I hope other people feel the same way. But things in my life are getting better, even though the world's crashing down. Yes, I've got struggles, but everyone's had struggles.
Yeah.
But everyone that's in this chat and everyone that's on this screen right now, we have enough in our life to be sufficient enough to have a roof over our heads, food in our belly, and we're on the internet, so we've got a little extra cash. So we're all doing okay. There's people doing way worse, and if you're in the big cities, they're just destroying them. And that's obviously it's a government, whoever's in charge, because they're so stupid that they don't have any creativity. It's just like in Hollywood. They make the same freaking movie over and over and over, right? You talk about, I'm pontificating, but you talk about Star Wars. Star Wars 1, for the first movie that came out in 77?
1977.
The whole movie, blah, 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 blow up the Death Star, game over, okay? Third movie, Return of the Jedi, Return, blah, 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 blow up the Death Star, movie's over, right? Then you go those 3 crappy movies nobody really likes, whatever. And then you get to the next one, the new of this new series. Blah, 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 blah. Blow up the Death Star. Everything's over. And I walked out of that one with my kids that were older at that point, and we had a good time. Don't get me wrong. It was a fun movie. But we started laughing like those son of a bitches made us pay for the same movie 3 different times. You know what I mean? It's like, so they have no creativity. So then you look at what's going on in the real world, quotes. You got a guy getting ripped out of his truck like Reginald Denny just back in the day, because I lived in LA during those riots.
Yeah,
and what fascinating is, if you look at the truck, go back if anybody's seen that video, because I took screenshots of it because I found it interesting. I wonder if anyone else, like, what do you call this?
Any numbers on a license plate going up to like 13 or anything?
No, the actual truck. Let's see if I can get the number. See the 911s?
Yes.
Let me see if I can get it in focus. Come on, camera, focus.
God damn it. 911 is 199.
But yeah, there you go. Come on, camera. It's trying. But you can see it. It's 19910. Then there's a 27 and a 1. So the 27, of course, is a 9. So everything on that truck is 9s and 1s. Everything.
Or 666 to 1. Yeah, or 911. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying on this one.
Yeah. It's
so it's like they're coding, you know, it's this Reginald Denny. Even all the newscasters say, wow, just like Reginald Denny. I mean, it's all, they're just repeating the same script because they don't have any way of writing a new one, but it works.
Yeah, well, look at the time.
So that's why they don't write a new one.
Well, look at SpaceX time. Did you see SpaceX time? You look at the SpaceX time. The original countdown was supposed to be for 33. It was canceled, but then it got up around 13. The time it's a 13. It's a 33. It's the whole numerology thing, and an old fucking Trump. He's just saying the numbers. All he does is say numbers. That's what Trump does. He says numbers. No. And then we've got this deal, and he says a number. And the Americans are just like dumb. He says a 30,000 or a 30 million, and then a 33 billion. He says the threes. I'm like, this dude. Or he says a numerical value that comes out to a 3. There was a thing where this he was one of those rental owners that had a building that he had allowed all his rentees not to pay rent. They had to pay rent. So Donald Trump was celebrating this gangster looking guy, this gangster looking like a straight up gangster. He stood up at the podium and he was talking gangster, how he let his tenants. He thought about it. It was 33 in the morning. It was 3:30 in the morning when he was thinking about this, he says in his speech. At 3:30 in the morning, he's thinking about how he felt bad for his tenants at 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, dude, can you say any more than that? So here's the 33. There was the drop fucking numbers, his little hand signs. I'm like, oh, as above, so below, the water symbol. I'm like,
well, remember, I don't know how everyone gets their path, but mine was through Trump and Q. I was into that. That's how I found out about a lot of things. But then when you realize that, you know, it's what, two wings left of the bird, I get that whole thing. And when you listen to him now, it totally is filled with all that stuff. And
all of it.
You know, even that little poem he did was like, he talked about, I was a snake. Remember that one? That poem about you knew I was a snake? He like says the words and he does the symbols and everyone's like, no, you don't get it, man. It's misinformation. He's showing you. See, it's upside down. It means he's going after him. They're going on those ships and we're going to come on.
He does that so you guys can all, not you guys, but people can say, he's bringing down the house. He's not bringing shit down, man, because we've talked about the blood fucking lines. The dude is connected to the bloodlines. They're all related. All of them. John Kerry related to fucking to the Clintons that are related to the RH negatives. RH negatives. All of the presidents except for one is RH negative out of a small populace of the entire back of the turtle. All of a sudden, for some weird reason, only the RH negatives will be able to become president. Of course, now I'm pushing paper. Everyone do it on paper. Do the presidency on paper. They're fighting against it. There is a movement, and I suggest everyone out there pass it around. Whatever, you're a flat earther, you're a round earther, you're a square earther, you're an Emmy, you're I don't know, you're a paranormal guy. I'm a God defecates on us kind of a guy. When you guys ask for the papers, sign your president in, and make sure you put Eric's name and put Eric Wood in there, but write your president in. They're trying to stop it, and there is an underground wave of people figuring, hey, wait a minute now. Since we're in quarantine, let's play their little fucking game. I don't want to go to the polls. I want mine mailed in. And so now the Trump is trying to stop it, and the administration is trying to stop it. There's a movement for mail-in ballots. Everybody says, screw it. I want to write it in at home. We'll get rid of them people. It's that easy.
Yeah, but unless we have, I don't know how, isn't it? Did they just pick their person anyway?
They pick their person anyway, yeah. They pick their person anyway. So
I'm all for these things. I do believe this is a book, like you say, or a movie or whatever.
Yeah.
I also believe God's in charge of it. And so now here's a weird way of thinking about ceiling fan's the man. What a nice guy.
Hey, just a little fast shout out, just real quick. Tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific time on Truth Frequency Radio, Bob and I got invited on to be with the Matrix Unveil on Truth Frequency Radio live tonight. I think it's right after Durst's show. So if you guys want to check us out tonight, just go to that website, and we're going to be there tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing. So, like, God's in charge of this. We know that. I mean, and he's the only one that can take us in and bring us here and take us out. So those are the rules. They can mess with us as long as we give them their consent. We get all the rules. So when you look at it, the things that are happening, as negative as they are, my kids, of course, we have a blended family. We have 7 boys. So all in their 20s, okay? But I think only 1 really was awake. 2 were kind of fenced, and the rest not even close. Well, what's going on in the world with all the fakeness of the riots? It's waking them up, and things that Trump says or does, it's waking people up. So even though I know he's working not in my best interest, although he's still the best president I've ever had, it's kind of funny. You know, he has done some things.
Yes, he's entertaining. I agree with you 100%, by the way.
So let's put that aside.
Yeah.
The things that the evil ones are doing are inadvertently or on purpose waking us up, because we wouldn't have known this is going on. Yeah. So my thought is, if we're waking up and we realize we have power, because you guys both felt it, and people in the chat that were there was something happening in that park that day. It was this energy. Like, we were untouchable at that point. I just felt there. And if we can figure out to collectively work this energy, even from our home through our computers, just coming together and thinking about this, I think we can rewrite the ending to this. Because the only ending I have to go by is the one that's written in this book. Okay. And we know this book's been corrupted. We know it's not originally the way things were, what God said.
Yeah.
Why are we to believe that everything in Revelations S or no S, everything is true? I say, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe they screwed with the ending, and now they're doing things to make it appear that this book ending is happening the way they want it.
That's what I'm saying.
Take it back. What if we say, no, I don't want it the way your New World Order said?
Oh, it's not going to work. No, we're like a virus in this their system.
We are the virus, just like the Matrix.
Yeah, we are the virus, and it's not going to work for them. We saw that guy at the park when he tried to shut us down. He watched that guy turn like,
you changed him. You changed him, Bob. You did. Hey, let's do the same question for Rick. What's your Mandela effect you believe that maybe has been the biggest cover-up that you think?
Well, I don't know if it's the biggest. There's so many, like Robert said, but I just happen to have this one on handy. It's near me. This Forrest Gump thing, the fact that it has the quote wrong on the box where it says life is like a box of chocolates. And then they went back and they say that later in the movie, he says it or his mom says it, or I don't know what the bullshit story is, but it's so obvious that it changed because there's no way that this book, this would have been made. So many thousands of people would have seen this before it went to market, before I could have bought it back in whenever this was, the 90s. That this backstory now where, oh, well, there's a special scene in the end. I guess it's like a added DVD thing where he says or she says, or BS. No, that was the line, and that's why they put it. It wasn't because it was because his mom said it. It's because he said it.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big cover up, I think. And the one you got on the screen, this fucking, sorry about cursing, this guy over here, the pink I can't ever point. Pink fucking shirt and no sunglasses. Give me a break. So then what do they do right before they put out these Domino commercials before the quarantine where, he's in the pink shirt just like that. So that way, 10 years or I don't know how long this mess goes on, but eventually people like us won't be here to say, hey, it's not the way it was. And the new generation of people will be like, no, that's what it always was. I've seen the movie. I saw the Domino's commercial, It's like the whole Planners with the peanut with the monocle and the monocle. It's all that garbage. All of it.
They're aggressively trying to cover this up. I mean, it's blatant for those people that can see it. I'm like, this is hilarious. They are deliberately trying to shut this shit down. Hollywood they blown it. They blew it. I told you how all the actors that I'm watching are now washed up, even in their old videos, how these things change. They don't have the swagger. They don't have the look. There's always something flaw with them now. All these famous old actors that were almost to the point where they were like a mythos, like they were demigods, right? And a large percentage of Hollywood people, you guys don't know this, they're RH negatives. Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Tom Cruise that's laughing at us.
Yeah, they're all like, and then Johnny Depp, RH negative. I can just keep. Angela Jolie. I can keep going and going and going. Every other one is a negative, and they have these famous roles all of a sudden. So all these RH negatives had all these famous roles, and it became iconic characters, godlike. But now when you watch them in this place, they look like fools. There's something flawed in them. There is a flaw. Right back to Tom Cruise with the pink shirt. It's flawed now. That extra oomph is gone. I've been watching John Wayne with a whole different walk. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. Now he's like, I'll be back.
Yeah.
There is a question that's going to be coming for Silly Fan Man.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for her question. Lisa wrote a question for Silly Fan Man. So, what's the question?
So the other thing is I believe because I
find God.
Wait.
She wrote Fan Man define God. I guess she wants you to define God.
Oh shit.
That's
all right. Well, I mean, it's how I see it. There's a creator. I call him my father. He's got all kinds of names. I don't get hung up on the name. Because when I first started figuring out the spirituality, it's like, oh, don't call him Lord, call him God. Okay, don't call him God, call him Yahweh. Okay, don't call him Jesus, call him Yeshua. It doesn't matter. Like, honestly, there's people, and I'm not saying who's asking the question. This is just me pontificating. There's people that think that if I call God, whatever, if I call him Jesus, my Savior, I call him Jesus, and I should have called him Yeshua, he's not going to know I'm talking to him?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. No, it's intent. All words are intent. All weapons are intent. If I take my my sword, I can use it to attack Eric like I usually like to. That's probably why he didn't show up. Or I could use it to anoint Bob when he becomes King of England. It's all about the intent. Is it a weapon or is it, ceremonial? So it's the same thing. So my definition of God, I know he exists. I know where I came from now. What the shape of the earth is, I'm assuming it's flat. I know it's not where they say it is. As far as the names, it's hard to get caught up in that. I found my path through Jesus and through the Bible and to God. But at the end of the day, if this book gets burned or if I throw it in a fire, that doesn't make me a heretic. That doesn't mean I don't love God anymore. It doesn't mean he doesn't know me. I don't actually even need this book to talk to him. I talk to him every day. I talk to him all the time. And that's why I think my life has gotten better, because I actually acknowledged I know he's there. You know, it's like when you have that one friend and the only time he calls you is because he needs help. You know, I need to move or I need some money or whatever. After a while, you just like, maybe don't take that call.
Now, are you talking about God from the Bible? I'm just repeating what she wrote.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I believe this is the guidebook that was left for us. I know it's been corrupted, but the general message is there because that's how the rules work.
But is it corrupted or is it being changed for the better?
Well, no, again, I think the Mandela effect and things like in the Bible movies, I believe it's you could say it's God, but maybe he's working through people. I can really freak you out. Here's some thoughts I have. So these people that are bad, including Satan, what is he doing? He's waking us all up so we can figure out who we are, who God is, and hope to God we all get to go home and get the frick out of this prison. And if we didn't do any of that, we would just go on with our lives in slavery, have no idea that we're being abused and used and destroyed by these idiots in charge. Oh, yeah. We would have never known this. We'd have gone about our lives. We would have watched our movies, and we would have worked and died and never enjoyed our life like God wanted us to. Yeah. So what's happening now? A lot of the things that we used to be able to do, we can't. We all been sent to our rooms. Again, I feel God's in charge of this. Well, I know he is. So we're all at home with our families. How many people have started gardens? How many people started growing? I wasn't a farmer. I ran a small business for years. I wore a suit and tie. My hands weren't dirty and all calloused. I've done more in 3 years than I've done my entire life, probably because I'm starting to really live it without having to bust my ass going to work, being miserable and coming home and maybe having a short period of time to myself, barely have some time for my family, maybe on the weekends. You know, I was lucky. I got to spend a lot of time with my kids, but there was times that I couldn't. And they did stuff for years. Really, I wasn't around that much because I was running a business. So now I'm enjoying this. So, yeah, I think that even though they're bad people and bad things, in some ways they're helping. And I think God's using them to wake us up. And it's sort of like the sorting hat in Harry Potter. Yeah, the sorting hat. Or are you a Slytherin? Because you're going to have to make up your mind soon. Because the door narrow is shutting, it's closing, and we can all feel it. And so the quickening or whatever you want to call it's happening. So we just need to. I think this is helpful. Honestly, I know it sounds weird, and I hope I don't piss a bunch of people off. I know who God is. I know who Jesus is. I get all that, and I think that all of this is a process to figure us out. Yeah. You know?
So think about it. It's so funny that you're saying all this because, Bob, you and I talked about this on the show before that. Yeah. Is this pandemic really super bad? Because it's given us an opportunity to even talk more to people.
Yeah. It was weird.
You know, because listen, people are getting a check. They're getting unemployment. And they're getting an additional $600 from the government. So it's not all that bad, right?
Yeah.
I got laid off right before this happened, and my unemployment went away before they signed that new thing in law where I was getting nothing. But they signed into law. I got an extension of unemployment, so I can't say that
I know
this has all been shit. I've got money coming in. I'm like you said, I'm working on the yard. I'm growing potatoes.
Yeah.
All the laws, like Bob, you saw all that shit work I just did with all that.
Yeah, you did a lot of work with that.
Paint the door black. I got to do things, let my body heal that I wasn't able to do before. So it's not all that bad. I'm actually enjoying it right now.
And like I said, we've changed our eating habits. So even though I've got a little extra weight, I mean, so whatever. I lost 70 pounds.
Yes.
And I didn't try. I didn't go on a diet and have to. No, it just started coming off because they changed the way I was eating.
And you forgot the most important one. You forgot the most important one.
What's that?
Good thing that's happening. We got to meet you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm just really upset you guys aren't here today. So we got to figure this out. We got to get a background to get you here.
We were supposed to all of a sudden because of his wife on the fucking riot in front of her building. Her building. It's not like her building is the building with the riot in front of it. So Eric's like, I got to walk her into this crowd, or I don't know.
But you're absolutely right, Eric. I wouldn't have met you guys, and a lot of the people in the chat. I got to meet Rasta and Friendless, and it was just fantastic.
Everybody's awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody's awesome, and man, the things we all brought to the table.
Yeah, some of us did better than others. Right? Yeah.
Somebody stepped up the game. I mean, it was funny because everyone's kind of quietly talking. The rounds are being made, and next thing you know, everybody's just everybody's talking in every corner about everything from politics to freaking.
Didn't it seem like it just went by? Like we didn't realize we were there for like
5 minutes. Like 5 minutes. It barely felt like it calmed down real hard. All of a sudden, ironically, and then next thing you know, it felt like 4 hours. It was just 5 minutes. I was like, "What the? There can't be this long." I mean, they were like, "Dude, we couldn't have been this long here. It's impossible." Yeah. I feel like I just talked to everybody for a few minutes.
Yeah. In fact, when you and I we were walking out, I kept walking with you because I wanted to keep talking, but then I had to get back.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of the same ideas. We got the same. We'll use the words that are given to us to use. I don't nobody take offense to the word we use. I just call it downloads. So it's just use the simple things. We've all had the vision downloads of certain information that just makes us interested in talking about. And it just turns out the three of us had the same conversation ready in our heads already about the Earth being a little bit smaller, or the back of the turtle. Remember, you know what? Everything's smaller.
Yep.
Everything's shorter distances. I got it in my gut. I saw it with my own fucking eye overseas. Confirmed it with you guys. You guys like, you have the same gut feeling. Everything's small. So
yeah, because
it was like talking to myself. I was like, I'm talking to myself. You guys had this.
When you guys do come over here, Eric should just leave you here because you and I we can figure this shit out probably in a couple of days.
I probably never see Bob again. He's probably living in your forest.
Hey, we got plenty of room.
He's got to throw a mistake here and there.
And he and my wife hit it off perfectly too, because and we think there's something about the blood. There's people have different blood types, and it's affecting them differently. It's interesting.
No, your wife is awesome. She's very nice, very nice.
We're
talking about the download, the Matrix download in the restaurant. How we had a Matrix on, and it related to her, which that was fantastic.
Yeah, and because I could actually talk to her about the advantages of the blood from the Babono monkey without having to go through the whole bisexual fucking monkey thing. Go straight to do you know the studies of we have this horrible virus that's going around it's a respiratory virus. It lowers your immune systems, and oddly enough, we have these Babono monkeys that have a fucking cure for it in their bloodstream. How do you feel about it? And without having all that the gay monkey talk, we actually had a regular talk. I said, thank God.
But again, I don't know why. Well, we know why because they control the media. But this should be like mainstream every freaking night. That the Babono monkey has the vaccine basically for AIDS and Cranani and whatever. We should be drawing their blood and mainlining that shit.
There should be already testing done. It should already have been done. There should already be a serum there. So why are they? You have the answer is right there. So I'm confused. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's
I don't have any pictures with faces. Somehow I took it all from behind.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because you guys took all the pictures. So I just said, "Oh, City Fan Man must send me some of those pictures."
I did, didn't I?
Did you? Oh, maybe.
I thought. I don't know. Hey, Ed Robert, sometime you got to get me your info. I never got it. I want to be able to do a regular phone call. Not on air.
Well, usually it'd have to be with Eric only because I have a British phone, so I have to give you.
Okay, all right.
I did email you his email address.
Yeah,
Bob does read that.
Yeah. That I have that British phone. I have to get an American phone. It depends on how long the VA is going to take. I might have to get.
You know what? I realized. I'm sorry, Eric. I was sending them to Ted and some other people. I didn't hit you.
Oh, what a fucking bastard, man!
I know I am. I know, right? You can kill my stream if you want.
Eric, did you get the trash out, dude? Your trash is here.
No, it's out.
Okay, good. I can hear your trash.
But all the fucking
find one
ate most of it. But Bob, let me ask you this question.
Yeah, ask that question.
Since there was some Bible talk here.
Yes.
In your opinion,
yes.
What is the biggest conspiracy cover-up that's in the Bible?
There's some faces.
Oh, hey. That's good. I like everyone has a flat. They all have the flat.
Yeah, well, that's our gang sign.
That's kind of cool.
Drop the gang sign.
It's the gang sign. That's
but it was funny because it really wasn't a flat. I mean, Mark Sargent set it up. Of course, he wasn't there. He was doing the thing with Rose. But it was set up as a flat Earth convention, but it wasn't just a bunch of people that think alike. Because we didn't even talk about flat Earth. Honestly, it wasn't even brought up. We didn't even discuss it.
Everything moved in more of it. It's a simulated storybook or Matrix kind of all how the same kind of like. Let's just keep it at that level, and we won't go into the rest of this conversation. But everyone had that same feeling about the storybook. That was pretty consensual. We just kept it at that. And everybody was just hugging mostly and eating brownies and having a great time. You know, well, Eric, you had a question about the Bible. You said that. What about the Bible?
Yeah, since we're talking about the biggest cover-up conspiracy there is, what do you think the biggest conspiracy cover-up in the Bible? Is it the cross? You know, is it Jesus not being on a tree versus a cross? Or is the flat Earth thing in it, or the word Matrix?
Well, the two. There's so many, but. The hard-hitting two, of course, it was the lion and the lamb, and now it's the wolf dwells.
That was a huge one.
Dwells with the lamb. And then also I read it the wolf eats beside the lamb. People need to understand that. That means a wolf is going to eat what a wolf eats, even though he's protecting the lamb. You understand that? So that's my interpretation of the new version. As in the lion's not going to eat the lamb and just lay with the lamb. Probably die because it's going to be starvation. But at least the wolf is telling you the truth. He's dwelling with the lamb. He's going to eat beside the lamb, his own food. And then new to me was the snakes will eat dust. I've never heard of the snakes eating dust. So if you keep continuing reading that down, and the snakes will eat dust. I'm like, what? That's new. But it's the hung in the tree. The hung in the tree, which I'm still selfishly convinced that means wood. It's another symbol for wood. The hung in the tree, the wood. Which goes back to the oak tree.
What I'm finding is maybe some of these Mandela effects, if not all, the way it really was, and there was that veil of whatever that it was wrong. Because, again, I don't know, and I'm not being blasphemous. I know who God is, but picturing Jesus dragging across through town, and then what? Then they had pole diggers. Hang on a second. And they're digging the hole, and then they're stuffing the thing in. And then, I mean, it just, they could have done it, but there was already the trees there that they were, I don't know. It's like, was it always he was crucified on a tree? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to upset anyone, but I really don't know anything anymore. I mean, everything that I've read is different. You know, history's changing and maps are changing. And
well, there's a whole new methodology to his torture. There is a whole new concept and a level to it because remember now when they take him in, also they hung him in a tree. Okay, we'll just call it one thing they did, and then the Romans brought him in to the priest. The priest originally first the priest with all the soldiers, and then he's blindfolded at this time. Now he's blindfolded while everyone does a couple shots in his face. So as the Bible describes, they were taking jabs at him with a blindfold on. If he's the son of God, he'll be able to know exactly who it was that hit him. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he knew exactly who hit him. But they were taking.
Also, they stab him on the other side now.
Yeah, and they stabbed him on the other side. Yeah, on the other side, on the right side. Yep.
Yeah.
What does that mean? You know what?
Well, the heart's no longer on the left. So
correct.
There must be something with that, I guess.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of clue about that. You know, why would it switch one side to the other? You know, there's got to be clue. Like you said, Bob, there's clues to everything.
Everything. It makes a little sense. It makes sense. It's all logical because the heart was on the left side.
I just watched a movie my son recommended. I wasn't all that thrilled with it, but it was the Ballad of it's on. I'll think of it. But there's a guy and he's a gunslinger and he goes to shoot this guy and he's like, okay, So I got to shoot him on the left. Oh wait, it's in the mirror. I'll shoot him on the right. So it's like
the
Ballad of Slugs.
Ballad of something. Yeah, I love it. The Ballad of. It's a Western clip. So all these
but I remember we talked about. I remember watching
Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yes. And every story and it all ends bad. And I'm like, what?
I love it. That was good. It's a good. Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right. I enjoyed it.
I liked it because I was refreshing for some. I like Western, so I was like, cool. The Bible has cattle now, so the Bible has. I tell you, the Bible has become American. There was a language removed, and in the removal of the language, it had been replaced by English, American slang.
Oh yeah, pick up your couch and get your stuff.
It's American slang.
I'd never read the Bible before, like a year or so ago, and the first time I read through it, I didn't have some of these Mandela effects that are in it. And then when people started telling me about it, you guys know this is how this works. When somebody says, "Hey, there's like a squirrel over there," and then you suddenly see it, it's like when I went back and was reading it, all of a sudden the guy used to say his mat, and now it says his couch. I remember when they lowered him down and stuff, it was a mat. Pick up your mat, now it's a couch. Yeah. And then it bothered me when I read through it and it said, God said, grab your stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. He's going to say, do thou this and thou this and might thy, and get your stuff and get out. What? No. So there was like things that were just hitting me in the head that I was just saying, there's something wrong on some of these before I even realized that they were, and wineskins become bottles, which they didn't even have, So you're right. It's like Americanizing it. Next thing you know, Last Supper, they'll be drinking Coors, right?
It sounded like a bunch of beers. The classic. I mean, just this. Everyone needs to slow down on the Satan shit and possession by fucking whatever demons. Look at the Bible and just take a step away from your religion for a second and just be a scientist for a little bit. Probably why God chose some of us, because we a little more scientists. So we look at it as a scientific perspective, an anthropological perspective, going, wait a minute. If I were to, someone says, guess the language in here. The new language, I'm like, okay, the new language to me, beer bottles, couches, he stuff, cattle, castles, maidens, presidents. It's American. There is no presidents in England, so you wouldn't use the word president in England. It's Americanized,
and now it has, of course, planets.
And corn is the number one thing that I keep telling people. Look, corn was only domesticated in the Americas from grass, and grass from it was domesticated in America, in the Americas, South America. There's hundreds of different strains of corn, but it was domesticated in the Americas. It wasn't brought to Europe until much later, around 1600s, late 1500s, 1600s. So there was no corn.
Okay, the was saying that Moses wasn't in the basket. What was the end? They just chuck him in the river?
He was in a basket.
Yeah, but what is he now?
The cornucopia disappeared, and he's no longer in a basket. Like,
he's in an ark now. Okay,
he's in a he's
trying to build an ark and then put it on the river.
I guess they built that basket ark in the shape of an ark. Now it's a basket, but it's an ark basket weaving.
Hey, I just want to look. Lisa asked, "Why don't we do like a show about the Bible?" So just letting people know that actually, with Silly Fan Man, we did do one called Mandela Effect Bible Changes.
You guys are nice enough to show most of my video.
Yes. So if you want to see more about the Bible talk, people, go back and watch the video. It's us three right here.
Mm-hmm. So. And there's also on my channel, I have that video you guys shot. If anyone wants to watch that, where I put a bunch of them together.
Yeah, I'll put your channel in the.
I'll put that one in there.
Yeah, I'll put your channel in the chat. Let me find it first. You guys can continue while I find it.
Well, I mean, I just want people to be cautious. Now, I know there's that. She calls herself Cat. I don't want to put anybody down. EYA. EYA was coming out with lots of really good information about Bible changes. So her resources, I don't know how she gets the information, but it was solid information. A lot of it I confirm. Yeah, I don't remember it like this. So, but I know she does a spin on it too, where she's saying she basically wants you guys to take the Bible and put it in the fire and kill anybody that comes walking out of that book saying that they're Jesus. So she's the first to fucking throw stones. I'd be weary of throwing stones at anybody at the moment. So let's not take the book and start screaming it's fucking possessed by the devils. It's changing. Let's slow it down on that.
Again, where I think the change is, I believe either God's doing it, or he's allowing it to happen, because if they didn't tell me that the lion laid with the lamb or the wolf now, we might not have woken up to that this thing has been so corrupted. And I think it's helping, once again, it helps us wake up to the fact that this book was corrupted long before any of us ever even picked it up, or our grandparents picked it up. It's been corrupted for centuries. So we didn't know it. Now he tweaks certain things that are important, like the lion and the lamb. That's huge. That'll wake up a lot of people. Putting it in these movies that everyone watches, that's huge. That'll wake up a lot of people. So I truly believe all these are that type of thing. Like, I remember, again, before I even knew the Bible had changed, I read through it. I'm reading about Moses up on the mountain, which fascinated me because growing up Jewish, I knew that story, but not to the level I read it in the Bible. And he talks about, no one can see God. That's why he talked through the bush, because you're just like, whatever, make your head explode. I get it. But all of a sudden, he's like, all right, Moses, I'm going to put you in go sit in the crack of this mountain. I'm going to cover you with my hand. And when I move my hand, you'll probably see my ass, but that's all. And I was like, no, God would never say you're going to see my back parts.
I didn't know this.
Right after that, on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, which
I know that.
I used to actually go there once for the first time in 3 years or whatever so ago, before I was awake. I took pictures, even though you weren't allowed to. You can hold your phone and just do this. And I took pictures of the Sistine Chapel where the fingers are touching, which, by the way, that's changed. They're God's fingers lower than Adam's now. And then right next to it. So it's not like you would have missed it. You could probably find the picture online, Eric. There's a picture of God's ass.
Yeah.
It says in the Bible.
Yeah.
And it's not like you miss it, because it's right next to like the most famous painting. So everyone in the world would have seen it. And me at one point being a 13-year-old boy, which my wife says I still am, we would have made so much fun of that shit.
Oh, yes.
There's no way it was there. There's no way it was in the Bible. And now all of a sudden it's there. Unless I'm wrong, people in the chat can say, oh, yeah, I always remember reading about God's ass in there. No, I don't.
No, he didn't do that in our time. The book was well written. Well, it's written very well, very smooth. It was poetic in the way it was written and structured. I know the Christians 100%. I'm not a Christian. I know your book was
that, Eric.
No, it says ask God. That's what it says.
Stop it. We were doing so good, and then you got to do this.
It says ask God right there. I thought that's what you meant.
Are those two lines or one line?
I'm turning off my camera.
One line, each one. Those are modern day.
No, I typed in the word a picture of God's ass, and that's what came up. I can't find no picture of God's ass.
I'll find it. Just keep talking amongst yourselves. Come up with a different.
I think this is it. Hold on. I think I really found it. I'm serious. No joke.
Remember, disclaimer, guys. We're not mocking anything. We're not mocking anything.
That's it.
It's right next to that picture of God and Adam.
Yep.
And that's always been there. Sure. Okay. And it's always said that Moses will see my back parts as I walk away. Sure. Okay.
That's funny to me, man. That makes me laugh. That reminds me of my dad. It reminds me of my dad when he's walking around the house with his underwear on. We had a whole house full of people. My dad comes walking out with his fucking tiny whities on. He didn't give a shit. He didn't care. Just walking around in his tiny whities. What we got for dinner? What we got? Okay, Dad. I got guests over. You're in your fucking tiny whities, man. It just reminds me of that kind of humor. It's funny to me. It makes me comfortable when I see that.
Right, but what I say is I think that's another way to just kind of wake us up to weird shit's going on in our life. And that's definitely coming from God through someone else, but it is.
Yeah, those are gifts for us.
For sure. It's not this one, right? It's not this one.
Yeah, we're sure it's not that one.
Not that one. No, it's not that one.
Well, somebody wrote the word God on it, you know.
I'd slap that ass, but I wouldn't slap God's ass.
Well, who says God's not a woman? So come on. Actually, we got a lot of asses today,
What,
right?
we go from like 50 people watching to like 2 now.
I still think, guys, I have my own. Remember, you guys heard my own personal theory. Don't take it to the bank. Is that this place that we're at now was a matrilineal. Somehow in its past, it was highly matrilineal. A lot of maiden, a lot of goddess. I mean, goddess worship more than I've ever. Now, this is from anthropology, archaeology. This is from fucking college. I took mythology and all those classes, all those hard ass classes. I passed them, the skin of my fucking teeth. But there was mostly males, and then a lot of descriptions here, a lot of females, tragic stories. Like we talk about Medusa. The Medusa was a passing story. It was Jason and the Argonauts in the 80s movie, but nobody talked about Medusa. She wasn't a big deal.
Medusa has this one too, by the way. I took this picture because originally when I saw this guy, he was holding a black tablet. And I was like, oh my God, he has his first iPad tablet. Now it's a piece of paper. It's like, you can tell it's a brochure or something.
Yeah.
But it was really weird. And that's why I took the picture, because it looked like an iPad. And now it's changed. Whoa. I got photos that have disappeared. I got others that have changed.
Yeah. That's how it works. But with mythology, guys, we really got to look at a lot of the changes that are, even Alexander. People don't, there's a Mandela effect. I'll tell you guys a Mandela effect. People that won't know this. Nobody's mentioned this at all. I'll tell you guys. Alexander, before he went on campaign, before his dad was a big crazy drunkard, he had tamed a horse. Everyone knows the story how he tamed this crazy black horse, which became his horse in war. Alexander the Great. Now they don't call him the Great, but anyways, Alexander the Great. So Alexander the Great had met you guys are gonna like this. Alexander the Great, before the big campaign hit, was at this big party. I think his dad got married to another wife, separate wife, who knows. But they introduced him to a famous philosopher. This philosopher never existed in my antiquity. This philosopher was a drunkard. He was a drunkard. They said that guy over there is a drunkard. He's also been on multiple war campaigns. This he's a total vet. He knows all his shit about a famous philosopher, but he was an alcoholic I don't know, alcoholic, he was a drunk. And so Alexander went to go meet this famous philosopher, and this was not in my time. So you guys look it up yourself. He meets this famous philosopher, which was a drunk, who basically told Alexander some fluffy bullshit, and then basically told him to go fuck himself during his campaign. This is what I'm gonna tell you. Now go fuck off. Told Alexander the Great to fuck off at the end of his little philosophical story, where even his men were like, "Do you want us to kill him?" Alexander says, for some reason, according to the story, I don't want you to kill him. I like what he said to me. He goes, I like how he was rude and told me to fuck off. He didn't give me any over cocksucking. He didn't give no ass kissing, no nothing. They gave him a story and then told him to fuck off. This is new. I know Alexander's stories, and I go, I've never heard of him talk to a drunk pie may fucking philosopher. He told him to fuck off. It was almost killed for saying it.
I haven't heard of that.
Never heard of it.
Hey, Eric, here, I'll show you real quick. So this is one of the photos that I took, if I can ever get it to focus. Okay.
Whoa.
So, see, that's the famous painting. And then, where is it? There it is. See, right there, God's ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you see how close it is to the famous thing.
It is right there.
Had we not see it?
Well, we saw that.
I know. You think we would have?
Would have saw that.
Yeah.
Would have known about that.
Exactly.
Remember, a lot of ravens are showing up in pictures too. A lot of ravens. And now remember, there's a raven on the ark. He sends a raven out.
And talk about synchronicities. We've been getting not crows now. We got a ton of crows, and they've moved. Now we have ravens.
Yeah,
probably have, I'd say, at least 6 to 10 ravens. And they're so loud. Like I was on Rose's channel talking to her, and I was outside, and you could hear them. They're so loud.
Wow.
I got a whole theory on that. I'm not ready to go over on this yet. I'm going to probably make a video out because I've got a whole. I'll talk to you, Robert, maybe a little bit about it.
I'm gonna show you guys something.
Oh, cool.
I wish I had more time to find
brownies.
My fucking yearbook because I showed Bob this a couple of days ago. I can't find that yearbook. Okay. In school, I play sports.
Yeah.
I was damn good, people. I play sports. Athlete of the year, 1992. I'm fucking old. But in basketball, I used to wear a number 12. That was my number. I wore a number 12 in basketball because I respect a player that used to play for Indiana Hoosiers named Steve Alford, and he wore 12. So I always wear 12.
Yeah.
And then my wife pulled this out underneath the bed. She made a little picture of me on the team with some medals and stuff. But guys, I know you're gonna think I'm bullshitting. I'm lying.
He's not.
I don't have to back it up with Bob. And when I go in the closet, I'll find that yearbook of me during a game. I was wearing a number 12. In this picture, let me see if I can go closer. I'm there on the bottom. I am wearing a 13.
13.
Are you kidding?
I am not bullshitting you, and I promise you guys.
Wow.
I'm gonna dig through and find a yearbook of me playing in a game wearing a number 12. Unless that picture changed too.
Yeah.
But
he's at a 13 now. We got kicked off.
No. That's me. That handsome son of a bitch right there. Now, some of you wondering, why do I look so much younger than these older people in this picture? It's because I made varsity my freshman year in high school.
I think he's from the future.
Yeah. I built the time machine.
I was a coach.
By the way, I'm still looking through coins. I can't find that one. There was a 76 with the world. I know I have it, but I've been doing this ever since he asked me for it. It's ridiculous now.
Some World's Fair kind of a thing on the back.
Yeah.
All the quarters have changed. Every single one of them has changed.
Yeah. I do have that one, though. I do have the one that says it's Statue of Liberty is silent, like it was supposed to be.
Everyone's been looking for the missing 2 coins. I always stress to people with the Mandela effect out there, if you guys remember only 50 states, don't think that you're any different from people who remember 52. Because a lot of people did not know that Washington, D.C. was an independent state. Mm-hmm. Because it's not now.
And Cincinnati is just in Ohio.
Yeah. So nobody would ever think they were anything separate. So it's 50. It's always been 50 plus the 2. I always tell people, I'm a 50 state. I'm like, well, you're not really a 50. You just didn't know about the missing state. Nobody talks about Washington, D.C. So some people are like, overseas, when I'm overseas, everyone says 54. They're counting the islands. They're counting the 2, the Washington, D.C. and Cincinnati, and then they're counting the other 2 states, or the island states, island nations. So, but over here in America, everyone is crossed between 51 or 52, 51 and 50 and 50. But I always tell people it don't matter if you remember 50 or 51. It don't matter because not everyone knew about Washington, D.C. So don't even consider yourself a 50er.
And again, because I always have weird shit at my house, I think it was it Michael Healy? He said I have Santa's bag or something.
Yeah.
Of course, I have this. And I was super excited because I'll find the extra 2 quarters. And when you look, they're not there. They're just gone. There's no DC.
No DC.
And there's no Cincinnati.
Now remember, DC, Washington, D.C. is a Mandela effect, the same as London. London is sovereign now, too. London is sovereign. London is it's a Mandela effect because it's.
And they all have that Osiris penis in front of their place, right?
Yes, they sure do. Yes, they sure do.
Hey, I got a question that came up the other day. To me, where are we at? You got Colorado here, kind of near Texas, and Wyoming here. Call me nuts. And I talked to Brian about it. He agreed, I guess. He's talked about it. These two were in a different place. See, this was Wyoming, and that was Colorado. Because I drove and I skied in Colorado, and I didn't go this way through Nevada and whatever. I came over this way. So that was Colorado to me, and that was Wyoming. And I think they've traded places.
Yes, you're right, dude.
He's right.
Yeah. Let's see. It was on one of my videos. Somebody put as a comment, something is flat. I think one of those people. I forget. I'm sorry. I don't remember his name. But yeah, they're in different places.
Wow. Yeah, it was down more.
Yeah. I mean, look where Colorado is. It's almost near Texas. I mean, the only thing separate is
no. Yeah, no. The Colorado, the mountains, the beautiful mountains of Colorado.
Yeah. Wyoming should be over here near Kansas.
I mean, it used to follow the volcanic fucking the line. You know, where all the mountain tops were pushed up from the subduction zone. Yeah. All the high mountains from the subduction zone.
Hey, Bob. You guys want to see a picture of the true 80s in an area where me and Bob grew up in?
Oh, shit.
You see this picture. You're going to love it. This is the real 80s. This is not a fake 80s. I'm going to show you guys the real 80s right here. This is no joke. Here we go.
Yeah.
And Haska's son said he lived in Colorado, was always where he said, and that's fine. I get it. This how this thing works, this Mandela thing. Some of us remember it differently, and then we catch up to what you remember, Haska, or vice versa. So just because we remember it differently, it doesn't make it non-existent. But if 10 and 20 and 30 and 1,000 people remember Colorado somewhere else, even if they remember it there, it just means we're all now on the same timeline.
I got 2 memories of my wisdom tooth. 2 memories, which is kind of weird. There's the old 80s picture. Yeah, that was the ghetto where we lived. VFW. That's Eric. That's Eric in the middle as a little kid.
Sweet.
Yeah.
This is where we grew up. All our doors were all peeling. Remember that, Bob?
Yeah, all the doors
were peeling. And remember the original hats, big old letters, VFW.
VFW, the old classics.
In the old
way, this whole synchronicity thing, I found it fascinating. When I came into your show the other day and I missed the first couple of minutes, I didn't know that you had talked about you had a door that you needed to paint it black right before you went on the air. Yeah. And at the end of that show, I brought up the song that's messing with my wife and I because we hear it differently, Paint It Black. I see a red door and I want to paint it black. And you guys talked about it and I didn't know that. So your show begins and ends with that, like 2 towers. It's interesting, the synchronicities in life.
Yeah. Yeah. That is weird.
That's a random thing to have Eric say, yeah, I just painted the door black before we came on.
About that. He was just randomly painting the fucking door before we went on the other day.
And then I talked about it. Without knowing.
Wow. That's cool. That's cool. This place is wrapping itself up. We're moving into that direction. I just can't wait to get there. Whatever there is. If there's a there. I'm prepared for anything. I don't fucking know. I just know that God's the wind and I'm the sail. I'm going to get to wherever it's going to be. You're the same way. You're a sail. Eric's a sail. Those of us with the effects, we're just sails. God's wind will get us where we're going to be.
That's the door I painted right there. Paint it black.
I've got a red door and I'm going to paint it black.
Show people I really did. I painted it right. Tell about 5 minutes right before the show started. I finished it.
Yeah. Had no idea. I got on the show late and then we started talking about painting a door black. Interesting. And then I also have this for anybody that hasn't seen my residue on my C-3PO with 2 gold legs.
2 gold legs.
That's right.
Yes. I can remember. Okay, so let me go back to what you were talking about, guys. Split memories. You will have them. I do have them. I do have split memories. Here's my split memory. When I was in the Navy, I have a memory clear as fucking day. Believe me. They took my wisdom teeth out. They had to take them all out before I got to the ship. In my time, I don't know what the Mandela effect now, but in my time, you just couldn't have a fucking cavity in the middle of the goddamn exercises or whatever and have some fucking ship surgeon flow out. There was no wisdom teeth allowed on the ship. Okay. So in boot camp, remember clear as day, going down to the medical center in boot camp and having my fucking wisdom teeth all removed, having them removed. And then I had like 2 days of downtime, and then right back to running again. But they were removed. Now, in a different memory, Eric, Cicely, your wife, just reminded me yesterday. She goes, Bob, don't you remember when you had to have your wisdom tooth removed in an emergency medical center here in Burien? I go, yeah, I do remember that. They removed it for like $100, but they were gonna, because I didn't want no anesthetic, no nothing. I said, just take the fucker out. It hurt too much. But I already had it removed in the Navy. I have that memory clear as day. Same pain, same freaking nightmare. They had a rubber. They put the rubber over and they had the tooth sticking through the rubber, the wisdom teeth, and then they pulled those fuckers out with this rubber thing. And then in this place, much later, they had pulled one out, like they had left one behind. They took them all out. They took them all out. It's like, wait a minute, how can I have two memories?
Well,
I have two memories.
Well, so you and I had that split memory in the mountains on 100.
Yeah, we have a split memory. Yeah. So, so when people talk about they feel weird and they might have two memories, you might.
Well, I just discussed with you guys on a stream, I think, this photo I found of the moon from like 30 years ago. I don't even know. And what's weird about it is on the back, that's my name, but written by someone else. I have no idea whose handwriting that is. And I have taken the time to map out the craters and where the Apollo 11 is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know the names of these craters. I don't know where Apollo 11 is, but I wrote this. That's my writing. And I just found this photo. I was looking through photos of New York City, and then this is in there. It's just odd. Oh, and I brought the hat over. My thing is glitching. I just wanted to see
the haunted hat.
Well, it's not a glitching. I wanted to see if it would, and it is. Where's Veal?
She was in the chat earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she's there now, but she was there earlier.
But yeah.
Well, so I always like to put disclaimers out there so people don't feel insane about the 50 to 52. Some people always remember the red light on top. That's fine. That's your memory, man. I mean, I'm not gonna hate you for that. As long as you're following God's fucking path, I don't give a shit if you remember the red light on top. Now, remember, I'm still on my own, with an exception of like my brother, about the playing chess. I checkmated the queen in my timeline.
I don't want to freak everyone out, but did you see my camera go off just for a second there?
Big glitch.
I took the hat and I put it in this little can over here, and my camera went off. I didn't touch the button. The mouse is way over there.
I love the Matrix Unveils in the chat. Just a reminder, everybody, we're going to be with you tonight on Truth Frequency Radio, live tonight, 8 p.m. And also, let me tell you guys, coming up this week, I'm not doing the show tomorrow because we're doing the show on Wednesday with a guy named Viv. He's actually he does a channel about the Walking Dead stuff.
I want to hear that.
Yeah, so it's going to be, it's somebody new. I guarantee nobody knows who he is. But he does have a channel called The Walking Dead Videos. And he talks about, people from The Walking Dead. So if any of you in the chat, even Silly Fan Man, if you guys have any Mandela effects that are related to The Walking Dead, please email it to me. I'm going to put my email here.
Wow. I'd have to watch the whole series all over again.
Well, maybe there might be some major Mandela effects that we just, we don't know about.
Oh, no. Yeah, I have not watched the series.
If you guys have any Mandela effects with that show, please email it to me so I could ask him when he comes on, because he's a diehard Walking Dead, and I want to see what he remembers.
Look at the flags, look for numbers. Most of you see a lot of numbers probably. You'll see a lot of license plate numbers. There'll be a lot of 13s probably. You'll get a lot of those kind of things, I bet you, coming out of it. That's what's going to happen because things have changed like that. Even if it wasn't that way originally, with the new shifts, they're going to have this new CGI God Matrix is going to change the whole video set and add 13s and 33s and sync weird numbers at certain times. You're going to have birds stop in certain scenes that were never there. That's how I'm seeing a lot of changes.
I'm happy about this because, Bob, we love our guests. We love people coming on the show, but we also love people that are maybe not technically related to the community that we can ask questions, somebody with a fresh mind, fresh ideas that maybe we never heard of. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's fun that way. And of course, Silly Fan Man's always welcome to jump on, even on that show. If you have questions with this guy that he's new, we never physically talked to him a little bit, and he will come on, guys. He's not going to stiff me. He already been on his channel and told people he's coming on, so he is coming on. I don't want people thinking that Eric has another invite that didn't show up. This guy will show up.
Shit, I'm getting high as shit off this brownie again.
So, does anybody know like how far up when you can't go into the torch? Because I'm coming across all my New York photos, and I've been trying to, like I got Trade Center photos and stuff, and it's kind of cool. Oh, there you go. There we go. That's Ceiling Fan Man in his younger days on the without the glasses.
Look at that handsome guy.
Right? That's me right there. But
where's your yarmulke?
Right? It was in my pocket, for the photo. But I was getting pictures of the Statue of Liberty, which that changed for me because my friend that's in this photo, we didn't have a lot of money. I went to visit him. And so when we went to the statue, I remember we walked to it and we took pictures near it. We didn't have money to get on a boat and go out in the middle of the harbor and stuff. And so I don't understand how that's all changed, but I found.
Oh, sorry. That was my fault.
Of when we were inside the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, wow.
And see, I believe those are people that are going up into the torch.
Yeah.
Because see, I got pictures inside.
Wow.
And then I got a photo from, that's near the arm.
Was this on Ellis Island originally, right?
Yeah, when I was there, it was Ellis. Now it's
Liberty. It's on Ellis right there. Or that's your avatar on the other one. It's what it is.
So I'm just wondering how high we were allowed to walk, because now I know you're not allowed to go on the torch, but I see these photos of these people, and I was below the torch taking pictures of them above me. So even though I can't prove it's in the torch, I don't know if I've got it upside down or what. It's hard to tell. So I could have that upside down. But there's people going up there.
Wasn't there that's the thing wasn't there a box with people's family names at the bottom of the torch? Like you could add your name to it or something?
That I don't remember.
Shit.
But there's photos that are missing. They're just gone. So
yeah, dude, I've got magazines and stuff missing from Townsville, Australia. One of my favorite places in the entire planet. Stuff is gone.
Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that. Is that in between a shift? Is that like they don't look the same? Or maybe they're just tilted differently.
Let me see.
So far,
it's the front and back, but they had this inside. It was like the old torch. Remember, they said that they put a new gold one or something. I think maybe this was the original one.
Okay,
kind of looks like a genie lamp. It's funny, but yeah.
Well, it looks like a tea kettle, and ironically, now the Sagittarius arm over, not specifically Sagittarius arm, but Sagittarius area. There is it looks like a teacup. Sagittarius is like a teacup now, just like the torch. That's me get out of a vodka truck. Yeah.
That's a picture of Bob going to a Seahawks football game, and a vodka truck came. That's Bob getting off the vodka truck.
Yeah, vodka truck.
Very slowly, it looks like.
Yeah, well, it's a Mandela effect for Eric and I because we partied every year in that same alley before each game. Everyone drank beer in the alley before each game to save money, ate hot dogs, whatever, in the alley before each game. And there was never, ever a vodka truck that drove through there. And so when Eric and I were there driving through there, this is before Eric was fully awake yet. I go, Eric, do you remember, dude, a vodka truck ever coming down this alley? Eric goes, no. And we turn to the people we're partying with, hey, guys, you remember a vodka truck coming to the alley? And they're like, what are you guys, crazy? It comes here every year. You guys know about the vodka truck. We're like, no. What vodka truck? We went inside of it, but it supposedly had been there every year. It's always gone through the alley. And everybody goes through the vodka truck. First time.
There's me and look at that's a good one.
That's at a football game.
I probably was in the stands in some of these games because I went to a few. I never had tickets. Somebody always had them with me or whatever. But look at that.
Zoom in on that picture. What does he got? What we got there?
That's me in the white shirt.
How ironic is that now? How
right?
How is that?
Turns out he's like a total communist. It's like the worst song ever written, and I used to think he was this peaceful guy, right? Whatever. This one I took this picture for Robert, or Eric, rather. See, there you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
All those weird
he supposedly got shot, but that's all BS now, too. He's probably still alive.
Yeah.
That thing really tripped me out because I was really into the Beatles. And I cried when John Lennon died. You can take me out full screen.
Yeah. He died at night, right? He died at night.
I remember it was during a football game and they announced it. And I was crying like a crazy person, played his songs all night, went to school the next day and could barely think. I remember writing the words to the Ballad of John and Yoko on my desk, because I was just and then you fast forward to just whatever, a few years ago. And I find out that it's all big psyop, and Paul McCartney actually really was dead, and John Lennon's actually alive, and Ringo's alive, but George might be alive. Screw you all, It's like I cried for you, and you messed with my head for so many years. Screw you.
Well, John Lennon's life became so wacky-doo with the Mandela effects. He actually had a Chinese lover, female lover, that traveled with him, and Yoko allowed it.
Mm-hmm. So May Pang or something like that.
They have a three-way, they have a menage a trois relationship. In this,
I think Yoko was his handler. That's all.
She was weird. This young Chinese girl traveled with him now, and she'd never been there before. All of a sudden, it was always Yoko. It was like the Yoko was like the biggest joke. The Yoko that broke up the band. Yoko, because they loved each other so much, but not in this one. In this one, he rolled another chick with her.
Yeah.
So whoa, dude. That takes away all his
all those love songs. Yo, Yoko, I'll never let you go. Except when I want to go bang this chick, then I'll let you go.
Yeah. It was all about Yoko those days. 100% of they were in love, but now it's
that song "Woman." That's such a beautiful song. But
now it's Yoko and the Asian girl, or the other girl, the Chinese girl, and then the Japanese Yoko. I'm like, wow, dude, a little plethora going off there. A little rolling with two chicks. That's weird. Not him.
I'm gonna have to look into the story as to why there was another torch inside. There's got to be some backstory to that.
I think it got blew up. Didn't Brian say it blew up?
Well, if it blew up, then why do I have pictures of it from the 80s?
I don't know. I'm confused now, dude. We need Brian on that one. He knows the whole fucking story of that. That's his expertise.
So he's over visiting my parents right now. Talk about a weird synchronicity of all the freaking places in the world for him to go. And I swear, I don't know where he is, but from the looks of the houses, he could be 4 doors down from my parents. You know what I mean? It's just really weird. Every time he drives by these stores, I go there all the time when I visit my parents. It's it's so bizarre that he's in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? And not that it's Brian, just I met somebody online and he lives across the country, and then he decides to visit this small town that no one's ever heard of. It's just bizarre.
He's in California right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I swear he's like 5 minutes from my parents right now.
Wow.
He's actually doing a live show as we speak with Rose.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be on later, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
No, it's on right now.
Who's going to watch his show?
I thought it was early. I thought it was later. Well, we'll have fun here, and then we'll go watch that.
Oh yeah. We got philosophy to get through. The Mandela
I should have mentioned he's having a live show, right? Because everybody's gonna be gone in a second.
Yeah, right. That's all right.
Now? What?
I'll talk to one person or 10 or 20. I don't care. I'll just talk.
That's funny, but at least we got a lot of Mandela people that maybe didn't know some of these things we talked about. Go do your own research, as we say, kind of back it up, see what it is. Look up the Yoko Ono three-way. That's a new the torch, the everything. What is it? I mean, everything to me. The font. Every font I see is now changed. It's all about every fucking font.
I just heard another new one. To me, Fonzie never says A.
What?
Doesn't he? Or
yeah, of course he says A, but
he says it all the time, right? Well, then there was something. Then something changed with Fonzie. I'll have to look it up. Maybe I don't want to say it wrong.
What are they saying? He's saying now.
I thought that maybe it's something else, but there's a lot of those things that are changing, like real famous quotes and stuff.
Yeah, they're making them look less than that's my interpretation. They're making them look. Their magic they had is gone.
Right.
Again, Tom Cruise's magic. When I saw his face, he don't look the same to me. There's no that he didn't have that boyish, that charm to him anymore. He looked like an old man, beat up.
All their faces are changing. Celine Dion looks like a skeleton.
Oh, God.
And who's the other one that we saw the other day? We're just like, oh my God, he doesn't look. Like they don't look handsome or pretty anymore. They're just
and
the masks are coming off.
Ozzy Osbourne's ex-wife, what's her name from The View? Oh God,
Sharon
Osbourne is awful. And then the girl from Australia with the long ass fingers, Nicole Kidman. Oh God, she's so ugly. Nicole Kidman is gone.
Yeah, they're changing.
They're like, she's a tranny now. Like, no, she ain't a tranny. She's as ugly.
Now, apparently, there's an article here. Says Henry Winkler defines experiencing the Mandela effect, and by looks like it was done by what's his name?
Moneybags, yeah.
76.
76.
But now it's 73.
So, yeah, I guess go over.
Yeah, I saw that one. No, that's different. That's the one about Captain Kirk supposedly never said "Beam me up, Scotty," and they discussed it on some show, and he freaked out because he remembers it. Yeah,
everybody does. Beam me up, Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty. Always says that. Always said, "Beam me up, Scotty."
Yeah, and Dr. McCoy no longer says, "Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a such and such."
Yeah, that's his number one saying.
He never says it.
Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a mason. Some stupid shit. Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm onto something or not, but I can't try to find Fonzie saying A.
Well, somebody said there, our friend.
Okay.
There's something there that I'll figure it out.
You can't change that. If they change A, then something's really fucking going on.
He'll be feminine. I've noticed all the James Bond characters are feminine now. And my hero, Sean Connery, which was always the best James Bond out of all of them, Miss Moneypenny, is now kind of feminine. I'm like, he looks femmy now. He acts feminine.
Nobody watches your late night except myself, my wife, and probably one other person. I love your show. And I'm not recommending it here because it's not for everyone.
No.
But you brought up something last night, and you know what I did, Robert? I continued that because you tripped me out on that. He did a mind experiment. Go back. I mean, maybe I'll make a video and post it. What? They'll take my channel down, or they'll just kill the video. But he took the fight scene from Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee, two of the most badass mother effers ever on the planet, apparently. And in the beginning, before they start fighting, he put
right?
what was this song? Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. And he put it on, and as they slowly like undress themselves and stare at each other, and they're just doing this, and he's like, let's get it on. We're fucking dying over here because it looks so ridiculously effeminate. They're eyeing each other up and down.
Oh
it goes on for a good. The entire song will play before they even fight. And then I went and tried to do more. There's another one, Robert. You can put it to another Chuck Norris fight, and he's fighting. Who's that other guy? Karate guy, David Carradine.
Oh no!
And so I put it to the beginning of that clip. Same shit, man. Oh my god, it's the funniest thing. So they really somehow they're effeminizing these people. And I got one more thing. Chuck Norris. He looks like a bear. Am I wrong? Does everyone remember Chuck Norris being so hairy?
No.
Not only does he have hair all the way down his chest and his stomach, when he turns around, it looks like his angel wings on his back shoulder. He's got so much hair back there, and I don't remember this. So does anybody remember the Chuck Norris angel hair?
I remember having a little bit on his chest, nothing on his shoulder, but just a little bit on, Hollywood acceptable. He wasn't like a bear. So he wasn't on his back, and he wasn't on it all to his front. Where he takes his hair, he goes.
Let me see if I can find it. Because I had it up last night.
I'm putting in the chat right now of that show Bob did last night. If they
careful though, that's not for everybody.
It is not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Mine's for adults only. For those that are
here. I'm gonna put this up here if you wanna. Let's see.
Like it's for the first 5 minutes of the show.
Wait, am I sharing the wrong screen? This one. Am I sharing the right one now?
There, I think it is. Oh,
yeah. You just had it.
Look how hairy he looks.
Jeez, he wasn't that hairy, man.
And that's not even the right one. Let me find the other video. Let me stop this for a second. I don't want to get you in any trouble.
I don't remember him being that hairy.
No. Wait till I find the video, the one where he was fighting the other guy.
You remember they took one of his movies and they made it into a series, but they made him a kind of a pussy wimp in the movie in the TV series versus the movie. You guys know what I'm talking about, Lone Wolf McQuay.
Yeah.
TV series, the Texas Rangers, based on that character. But in the movie, he was an alcoholic, drunk, badass. He'll fuck you up. But on the TV series, they kind of made him a wimp.
He was really,
so here you go.
Badass. He had no feminine scene ever.
No, it's not popping up where I could hit the button.
Is that there?
No.
All right.
Earlier it was.
I'd show you guys a trick last night.
Are you guys seeing this? Why don't take this video down or straight?
I'll turn it up. If you want to put on the fights,
don't pull it down with that music.
Yeah, that's why I said don't put the music on. I didn't do that. Here, I'll kill it there.
Yeah,
I don't remember him having that much hair. And in the back, it looks like there's angel wings, didn't it?
Angel wings.
Yeah. Right. It looks ugly, gross.
I don't remember that.
I always remember him looking fucking awesome, looking tough. You're like, yes, an American karate guy. You'll kick his ass.
Yeah. I remember watching it as a kid. Everybody loved that fucking fight scene in that movie. And he didn't look like that, man.
I'm trying to wake up.
Oh, yeah. Make sure I'm up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I remember that fight scene is badass, and then you put that on with that music in the beginning before they start fighting, and I just couldn't take it. I was like, oh my god, how did I? And there's a little kitten too. Like I didn't.
Yeah. A little kitten.
Even if I registered it back then that I saw it, it didn't make. Now you look at it and go, what the hell? Are we doing?
What the fuck am I looking at here? And the little kid's like, new. Oh god. I didn't know this was gay.
It's part of the unveiling. It's part of seeing who they really are, and he's a hairy motherfucker.
Mark Wood remembers him always being hairy.
Yeah, and that's the way it works, man. Yeah.
Yes, it works, yeah. I don't remember the neck hair or the back hair.
No, yeah. And that's shit like the painted black. My wife still hears to this day, I see a red door and I want it painted black. And I've always heard I want to paint it black.
I want to paint. Yeah, I want to.
Chuck Norris hairy, Chuck Norris not hairy. It just depends on which way your eyes see it. You go to Field of Dreams and some of them can't see the guys in the field. And then the guy has like this traumatic thing where his daughter almost dies, and all of a sudden he can see them all. And it's kind of like that.
Look, Mark does not remember the tattoo.
There's a tattoo?
Yeah.
Who has a tattoo?
There was a tattoo. I didn't even see it. I'll go look.
I didn't see it.
I was fixated on his hairy chest.
Yeah, Chuck Norris don't have a tattoo. I don't remember Chuck Norris having a tattoo.
No.
I'm going to type it in Google. I'm going to find out.
Did he say where he saw it?
Hey, Mark, where did you see the tattoo at?
When he was slowly undressing himself?
No, I do know he wears a wig. That's a man's fucking carpet on his head. Now,
which is really funny that he did that scene where he shakes it. What was that about? When he shakes his hair? Because that's important if you're karate fighting.
He just shakes his hair. What are you doing, dude? This is not the fight scene I want to see. This is once you put the music to it, it makes all the sense. The way old Bruce Lee backs himself up a little bit, I'm like, oh.
Dude, was there a Chuck Norris cartoon?
What?
What? That probably was. Here.
I don't remember a Chuck Norris cartoon.
I don't know. You've seen this. So here's the hair shake.
No.
I didn't see it.
Barbera? Who's it from?
Chuck Norris Karate. Chuck Norris Commandos. Fanatic Planet.
No.
Amazon.com.
And wait, where's his hair? How come he's not hairy? They got it wrong in the cartoon.
I don't remember any cartoon, man.
Cartoon spinoffs. Chuck Norris Karate Commandos.
Karate Commandos.
Karate Commandos. Really?
Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. I guess there is.
No.
I love it.
Wow.
Why does he have a hairy chest and hairy back?
Wow. He is a legend. Now he's a cartoon character. Well, don't forget, Donald Trump's whole family has a series of comic books about him. There's a whole series of comic books.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Donald Trump has a series of comic books about him and his family with superpowers.
This reality is something else, man. Okay, cool. So how old is that? Donald Trump superhero.
I never seen it like a year ago. Eric, look up Donald Trump comic books. His whole family's in comic books.
I'm freaking out on the Chuck Norris cartoon.
I didn't know it was a Chuck Norris cartoon.
You see that?
Anybody else remember the Chuck Norris cartoon?
No Chuck Norris cartoons. There was no.
Hey, who else is in a cartoon?
You guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing. I'm sorry. You guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing. Here we go. My fault. Watch. There's pictures down here of not that we saw that one, but apparently, hold on. There's a guy with a mechanic arm. There's a guy with a whip, gonna whip, and there's Chuck Norris is sticking his face in people's windows.
Okay.
Yeah, this woman laughing. I don't know what about her. Chuck Norris giving his all. Doesn't look hairy there.
Huh.
This guy eating a bone.
Okay, look at the back. There's no hair on his back. There's no angel hair wings.
No angel hair on his back.
You can saw that right here. Dude, where is this cartoon?
They're shooting lasers at him.
There's a dinosaur floating down. There's sexy Chuck Norris.
He's feminized.
Yeah, back it up. Go back up.
He's feminized.
Come on, look at the hot pants shorts and stuff and the little crew. That's what a woman would wear in the 80s if they wanted to look hot.
Chuck Norris doll. Talking to dolphins.
Dolphins in ice cubes or something.
Hey, I did that. I talked to dolphins.
Now I'm going to go. You said Donald Trump comics? Let me see.
Donald Trump comics. Donald Trump based comic books. But yeah, he's got his own series of comics. Him and his family. I saw the comics. The actual comics. It made me sick.
Are you? Oh man, Bob, I got to show you this.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Hold on.
He's opening up Pandora's box.
Hold on.
Oh my
First
god!
Of all, hold on.
Are you
But
kidding?
look at this right here. Look, the Tower of Horror.
Does it say what year these were?
Whoa!
The Tower of Horror, the Twin Towers. He's from New York. Is that a sign?
What?
Wow.
The unquotable Trump.
How old are these? Does it say?
The unique, the untoppable Trump.
Told you. I think they're about his kids too.
Trump and his very best words.
Does it have the years? When was this?
I'm gonna click on this.
These Eric's looking.
Hold on. It's on Amazon. Hold on.
Whoa.
I'm gonna show you this. Hold on. Let me go to Amazon.
Oh, by the way, a lot of my comics are Mandela affected. They have a lot of changes. A whole lot of changes. What year?
The unique Trump paperback. Does it say what year it is?
Oh, 2017. October 17.
Well,
2017.
Yeah. Okay, so these are more new.
Yeah, it's from 17. Wow.
I thought they came out like in the 80s or some weird shit or something.
Crazy. You know, it's another one of those competition things. These guys are all in competitions for like demigod. They're all playing the part of demigod. They're competing.
Well, as you were doing this, I thought I'd look into it. Do you know Arnold Schwarzenegger had a cartoon called The Governor in 2011?
No.
2011. Here, show my screen, Eric, if I can do this. Let me see.
Okay.
Let's see if I
don't
can
see it yet.
Hold on. I'm not that quick, man.
The Governor.
Can you see it?
Oh, let me go back. Hold on.
Am I sharing?
Oh God, here we go. Oh no way.
You see it?
Yeah.
It's in 2011. The Governor.
Look at that computer. Look at that computer for 2011. Wow, nice.
Does anybody remember this?
No.
I love this world we live in now. Is so crazy.
See, they're all comic book heroes. With these multiple changes, I've never seen so many comic book fucking heroes in my life.
Look at Arnold the Governor, and it's while he was governor, he's the superhero.
Wow.
But
crazy.
I want to tell you guys this. I wonder who the hell approved this. Who approved Donald Trump having guns with Batman and Robin?
What?
Who approved that?
Who approved it? Because they need copyright permission to do that. They need copyright permission. They got permission for that. My God. Old Biff. That's how he is. He reminds me of.
I got one more. Look at this. This is silly.
It's like this timeline.
Am I sharing it? Am I sharing this cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
You know what this is? Rambo. And it was in the 80s.
Rambo cartoon in the 80s.
I don't remember this on my Sunday morning cartoons.
Yeah, I do remember a Rambo cartoon.
I don't.
I actually remember this.
So you remember it? Okay.
Yeah, that's Sunday morning cartoons for the kids.
Really?
That guy's name was Colonel Trauma.
Colonel Trauma.
Well, this is what they're doing to the kids. Can you imagine watching this as a kid?
Wow. Eric says he remembers it.
I actually remember.
I've never seen it, Eric. And we're brothers. And we watch cartoons together.
I don't remember that one either.
I think we have a splitter. We have a split memory because I don't know anything about. I've never heard of that.
I remember Lidsville with the talking hats, but I don't remember Rambo. Yeah, I got this from Lidsville, by the way. That's where I found it.
Yeah. Marvel Q Division.
Q,
Q, of course, Q Division.
Marvel Q.
Trust the plan, Marvel.
Oh, God.
Maybe it'll be an adventure movie, right? Comes out.
Wow.
Okay, I rarely see the chat, but somebody just said Willy Wonky. Is that real? Is he no longer Willy Wonka?
It's
that's not real, right? And that's you're joking, I hope.
Willy Wonka.
I've got a weird one. Let me grab this thing here.
Oh, we got one. What is it? A residual? He's a collector. I miss all my old collection of stuff.
I feel so bad that I never knew that Mark Wood did not have a wrench. He's a good friend of ours.
Get him one.
Does everybody remember this guy's name as L. Frank Baum? I remember it as Frank L. Baum. To me, they've switched.
I never heard of it.
And then this guy, when I was growing up, I read all of his books. Ronald Dahl, who's now Roald Dahl. You can't even say it. He had an N, and it's gone.
That's a weird name.
Roald.
Yeah.
The N is missing to me in my reality.
Oh, it's Ronald originally.
Yeah, now it's Roald.
Okay.
The N's missing. And just like this was Frank L. Baum, and now it's L. Frank Baum.
Oh, I remember this. Ann is right. There was a Partridge Family cartoon also at one time.
I did see the Partridge Family cartoon. I do remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that one. So N is a 5. So it's a numerical for a 5. So N is 5 on that one. I don't know. Okay. I'm just giving you a 5. A number for the N, for the letter N, nickel. It's 5. Like A, B, C, D.
Looks like I got the text. Looks like I got to go downtown and pick up the wife because they're turning down early, just in case. They're not planning to have a protest today, but I guess they want to make sure. So I guess they're letting them out. So I do have to end the show because I got to pick up the wife. But don't forget, Wednesday we're going to be talking Walking Dead stuff, plus Mandela Effect and all that. So we're going to have a fun guest on, and Silly Fan Man is always welcome on. And I love having different people. I mean, just to get that little flavor from somebody else that we never saw before. And don't forget, tonight, Truth Frequency Radio. Bob and I will be on with the Matrix Reveal. Now, people,
where do you watch that? How do you get that? Is it on YouTube, or is it on like a?
It's well, you go to the TFR. Here, let me put it in the chat. You go in there.
Oh, I know who this is. I talked to him, I think, didn't I, on your show the other day? One day, somebody in that. There was on
this, and basically, it'll let you watch, listen to it through Heart Radio or some kind of other format. Now, it's pure like radio show, so you don't see us like YouTube.
Yeah, voice only.
But what he does is, what the Matrix does is, you're on for 1 hour, and then he transfers it straight to his YouTube channel. So we'll go on like his regular radio internet channel, and then we'll go right into his YouTube channel.
Go radio. That's going to be cool.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be cool.
Be fun.
So I am going to say goodbye to everybody because I got to go downtown. And Rick,
which thumbnail am I going to become?
What's that?
Which thumbnail am I going to be on your picture?
Well, do you want a robot ass or you want a real ass?
Wait, I'd be facing the wrong way, though. Are we facing away in those? You can make me the Pikachu in the corner.
I do have a picture of you facing away because all the pictures I took on Saturday.
Yeah, right? I bet like I take pictures at a wedding and everyone's facing the other way.
Best picture ever.